I'm not sure how this is working. All right, shalom, shalom. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Shai, Bashem Kakadash. Giving, of course, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Well, the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Well, peace and salutation. Baba Chayarim to the election. Shaul Yashara of the nation of Israel. Shemya Mappa is a Mappa. My young got Wallow Cup from the Great Millstone, Machana, the Great Millstone Camp. Simply Plaintables in the city of Philadelphia. Baba, I am Ramadi Ma'ite. I'm a lesson or we lesson. Salakia. Shalom to the Ak. I am on the comment board. All right, and I just want to do a quick little lesson, just in the spirit. You have a story that just well, it happened, I believe, the other day. We'll get into it. November the 30th, I believe it was updated, but we'll see when it originally happened, occurred. I have it on the screen here. This is what it actually is. One of the articles, which it reads. It says a man to face charges in death of woman found decapitated in Northeast Philly. The woman's body was found inside of a home on the 300 block of McGee Avenue. Uh, Ahmad Sharif, 34, was arrested and will be charged with murder, the DA's office say. Now, I'm not sure if this actually is a Jake or a heathen. Some of our people, they would do take different like Arabic names and stuff like that. Um, they subscribe to that religion of Islam. Um, but we'll see. Homicide detectives are investigating the death of a woman found decapitated inside a home Tuesday afternoon in Northeast Philadelphia. Police said district or the DA's attorney or DA office or district attorney's office approved charges against Ahmad Sharif, 34 years old. 34 years old. A murder, abuse of a corpse, and possession of an instrument of crime. And it says Jane Roll, Janeroh, a spokesperson for the office, said on Tuesday night. Police investigators have determined that the woman's death was a homicide, a domestic homicide. Right? Had to be like some domestic violence. He done killed his wife. I guess that's the term, domestic homicide. I could look that up on my own. I'll try to look it up real quick on the Google. See something. Just give me a wee moment. But you got it. Domestic homicide. I should look up domestic too on its own. Yeah, basically homicide that happened in the context of an intimate relationship and perpetrated by a current or former inmate or intimate partner. Pardon. Yeah. So the thing happened between him. I'm assuming it's his wife. All right, and let's go into it. So around at 12:45 p.m., the 41-year-old was found dead or dead, Muwath in Hebrew, in a home on the 300 block of McGee in the Lawndale section. Police said, so kind of near Tookenny Creek in Philadelphia, like a residential, pretty lawn like that area and such. It ain't that rough around there. I mean, it's it's Philadelphia, but you know, it's kind of like a quiet little area sort of over there, kind of. But it says officers arriving on the scene quickly described the woman as having been decapitated. Right, so as you see my heat on my head, on my on my body, right? This was removed, like off, right? Which it says the officers arriving at the scene quickly described the woman having been decapitated and known that the a known man was believed to be perpetrator. So they even having the intel based, I believe, on his previous engagements um, in times prior at that particular residence that who actually would be the suspect. Okay, it wasn't like they sitting there thinking, oh, who could it be or something. We gotta go investigate. They already were putting it. Oh, it had to be particularly that man. I mean, as it says, minutes after police found Al Rahil, they found Sharif, which I don't know who this other person is talking about. They found, which I believe maybe this is the talking about. Yeah, that's the chick. They just saying they put her name is full name is Lalia Al Rahil, right? But it says minutes after police found Al Rahil, they found Sharif hiding in a distance away from the scene of the crime. Police say he was immediately arrested and the knife was recovered. And I believe they found him like on Rising Sun Avenue or something like that. They said, like, which is nearby, major artery, loads of cars that go by and such. It says a nearby resident who acts not to be identified says the occupants were Syrian immigrants who moved in about 7 years ago and were welcomed by neighbors. So there you go. They Syrian, all right. It could have been you know whatever Arabs. Could be Jake Israelite foreigners. But some of this nature, you would think a decapitation straight up, like, hey, that's definitely something Eastern. You know, uh, you know how Ishmael be executing loads of people under like Sharia law and all of that. But anyway, going on, it says, but soon the house became a constant source of chaos, mainly involving men arguing or fighting. So, and let's see what if they got anything in the history. Um, it said men, so maybe multiple men lived in the residence. And a year ago, it says in 1 year, pardon, the police responded to the house a couple dozen times. Wow. A resident said about the situation calmed down slightly in recent years. The resident described Al Rahil as friendly but quiet, possibly because she was not an English speaker. Yeah, you got loads of, like, Ishmael come over here, and then they'll live here, but loads of them they may refuse to even speak the language that is the nationally recognized language here, legally here, and is American English. But it says online court records show that Sharif agreed to plead guilty in 2015 for disorderly conduct arrest that occurred the year prior. In 2016, Sharif was a charge, pardon, with driving under the influence. So this man was he was a drunk. The case was not resolved, and there remains to be an active bench warrant for Sharif and court record show. And just to show you the actual community, show you like this image here, if you can see it. So it's just that's a typical kind of small, quiet residential block. Uh, in like you say, I could say it's going. I still consider it like northeast, but it's the other side of the northeast. You know, like Boulevard speaking. like when I was younger, being on that side of the boulevard would be frowned upon over the side of the boulevard which I currently reside. Um, it's like more like you got like the Mayfair, Tacony, Holmesburg. You got them type of sides. That side, which would be going towards the Tacony Primary Bridge, and then you got the other side of the boulevard, which you got uh, Long Crest neighborhoods. You got bits of Frankfurt they consider it. Um, you got whatever. I'm trying to say any other little wee neighborhoods. Albany. You know, but going on, it says. I think that's it for this article. Let me see if there's anything else they got. House horrors, man charged for decapitation. All right, all I wanted to know kind of was it an Ishmaelite or something like that, which it might be a just straight up Ishmaelite, or it just would have been they could have been like it's like foreigners and such, because Yahweh Shemel Shai brought due to I mean you got a lot of the different migrant crises and stuff, messing up the different countries, bringing over because of this war, him of course wielding his sword, his military might, and conquering various nations and such. You got these nations that are coming over here and living and assimilating with American lifestyle and such. I believe even in that whole Islam thing, I believe it's not forbidden for them really to even drink, if I'm not mistaken. But or basically consume alcohol, if I'm not mistaken. But let me see. They said that there were young girls in that house. I don't know what they had to endure their whole lives. Police say no children were at home at the time of the gruesome murder. Um, the adults in the house are completely unhinged. One neighbor said it's a house of horror. Okay, so and then they pretty much putting up promotion for domestic abuse and things of that nature. It looked like it was the house that question was 325 McGee. All right, this is kind of like what they got there. And let me see something. See if I can see something. It's like I'm supposed to have this turned the other way, but it didn't work. I don't know what the hell.
Tonight, a suspect is in custody and charged with murder. I'm Sheba Russell.
I'm Jason Martinez, and neighbors describe the scene as a house of horror. And Jenny, there's just no other way to put it. It's horrific.
Absolutely horrifying, Jason and Sheba. And tonight, as you mentioned, 34-year-old Ahmad Sharif is in police custody, facing several charges, including murder, possession of an instrument of crime, and abuse of corpse.
I'm not surprised. The house is terrible. It's a house of horrors.
Neighbors not surprised, but deeply saddened to hear that a 41-year-old woman who police say lived at this home on the 300 block of McGee Avenue.
I'm no elder, by the way.
Murdered, decapitated, her body found lying on the kitchen floor.
For who just said that?
This afternoon.
The adults in that house are completely unhinged, and the man who did the decapitation, he is, I would say, the most unhinged of them all.
Damn.
Philadelphia police say 34-year-old Ahmad Sharif was taken into custody about 5 or 6 blocks away from the scene. Investigators are calling this a domestic homicide. Neighbors say the man is known for his lewd, bizarre, and at times threatening behavior.
Damn.
I get home and he's just standing there, like, doing circles.
Spaced out.
He exposed his genitals
to
my sister and her family.
Nigel Richardson says the woman killed has always been treated poorly.
I've never seen her with shoes on her feet. I've never seen her with a coat on. She's taking out the trash. She's raking up the leaf.
The older I got, like, the more I could see something was wrong in that house. Like, there are young
Police say there weren't any children around at the time of the murder, but there was a witness who helped police identify the suspect and make an arrest quickly. Neighbors say the situation is devastating.
They have beautiful daughters. They have a beautiful family. It's just a shame that this would have happened to.
He looked like he might be an
Tonight, the
Ishmaelite
district
too.
attorney's office is reminding people that there is help out there for anyone who is experiencing an abusive relationship. We have posted links to.
That's pretty much it right there. In these times, let me see, and let me just make sure I address what I seen on the comment board. I had to retract that statement, brother Mayim. I didn't put the statement. Whoever, Mayim, you could moderate that. I'll remove it right now, though. Yeah. So yeah, what's that? Yohan Banshar Yehuda. Just noted, I'm not a elder at all. Only been in the truth for about 5 something like years, 5 years or so, 5, 6, something like that. Yeah, I'm nowhere near being an elder or whatever, but just making it noted. But anyway, just going on. Yeah, you have the signs of the times in which we're in. You seeing actually so-called. That would pretty much had to be his partner, his wife, or whatever like that, and he then took her out. But these things should be normal. What you're gonna see to be normal in these times. Okay, hey, we're gonna have to see a lot of things like this. It's gonna be normal. Okay. So it says in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, it says, and these are end day prophecies. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay. Iniquity, compoundation of sin and such. Okay, and this place is this is a bloody city, being Babylon the Great, America. Okay, where you have all sorts of like you say, this dude you have a guy like this was found. He was known to be pretty much crazy. Like in Philly, you got like a lot of people with spirits on them, like normal. You're like a residential block, got people, a person. You might drive by that block and then stop there, and then you might look over and you see, like I say, somebody who's just walking about or something like that in a particular residence, but they got spirits on them. And loads of the time in the field of work I'm in, I have to come, in the close contact with loads of different residents, and it could be, it don't even matter what type of neighborhood in Philadelphia, they're everywhere. Spirits are turned up everywhere, roaming about. But this particular spirit, was created by Yahweh Shemashah to do an actual particular judgment to that chick. All right, which may get some other precepts. Which is, I think, the main precept for the lesson. You got to be very, very careful out here. All right. I believe this is going to be in the book of. See where this is at. I could get some other precepts though too in the midst. Get another precept in the midst. Give me one moment. All right, this is Sirach chapter 39 and 16. All the works of the Lord are exceedingly good, and whatsoever he commanded shall be accomplished in due season. All right, which, like I said, you have actual deaths that are sanctioned by Yahweh Shem Yashai to be done in a particular time and in a particular fashion. Okay, this is the book of Sirach chapter 40, and going to verse 9. It says, actually, I can even start a bit. At verse 40 and through 5, it says, wrath and envy, trouble and unquietness, fear of death and anger and strife, and in the time of rest upon his bed, his night sleep do change his knowledge. A little or nothing, and nothing is his rest, and afterward he is in his sleep as a day keeping watch, trouble and the vision of heart as if he were escaped a battle. This is obviously talking about man. It says great travail, verse 1, great travail is created for every man, and a heavy yoke is upon the sons of Adam. All right, so going on, it says, when all is safe he awaketh and marveleth that the fear was nothing. And that's a troubled vision of the heart. That's like a nightmare. Okay. Now it goes on. Verse 8, such things happen unto all flesh, both man and beast, and that is sevenfold more upon sinners. All right. And that the Israelites are the only ones truly can sin, but obviously we know the wicked, took upon themselves to have the Bible, so they, became as sinners too, But anyway, it says, and you have, the heathen, they be going off, obviously, the law wasn't given to them. It says, death and bloodshed, stripes and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and scourge, right? Punishment, scourge, or punishments. These are created for the wicked, and for their sake came the flood. All things that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again, which we know that man was created from the dust of the ground, all right? And that which is of waters doth return to the sea, all right? Now, let me get the other precept, which I wanted. So, you got these different calamities and such that were created for the wicked, all right? We know, that these people are wicked and such. Hey, the heathen, they can't even try to follow Yahweh Shem Shai. They can try, but the Lord ain't gonna accept them because they're heathen. Yeah, it said he could have been a Jake, bugged out Israelite foreigner and stuff, but the Lord, he brought judgment upon him. But well, in him, because he's now going to have to sit behind bars or something in some type of fashion, whether it be insanity, or in a crazy house, or mental hospital, his mind, because the spirits are upon him, or if he is actually put in a actual regular general population jail and such. But I believe it was said that when the guy was apprehended, he was saying about he need his meds, and the meds, like I said, that's just nothing but a portal for the various spirits, to pretty much to hey, it's a portal, it's a gateway, so they can manifest themselves and do exactly what is commanded to them, by the Lord. On the obviously on the left hand side, the Lord says he create what? Light. I create darkness. Out of the Lord, I do all these things. Right. So, even the dark, this murder and stuff, all of this, that's of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The Lord actually done that in all these different, um, like I say, this stuff, like I said, it's gonna be normal, So brothers gotta, kind of like get themselves in the mindset that hey, you might be, like I said, you might live next door to someone who's going to just pop off and do something to someone they know, you know. Yeah, especially we see in the times and economic hardships are becoming normal. Brother had showed how eggs and all of that over in New York for like just a dozen of eggs or something like $7 or something like that. It's gonna come a time when the storehouses are gonna be suddenly found empty. It's gonna be a time when the friends are gonna fight one another like enemies. So the best thing for us is just to know the times in which we're in perilous time, but also we have to know that in these times, we gotta remain separate, and know, like, try to get involved with these different people and such. Metal, as the scriptures say, with not many affairs. All right, which I'm gonna actually get that too, because in Jacob Trouble, I was meditating on this when I was walking the other day. Had um like I was meditating on like a something like you say, like a husband and wife type thing or something like that. Maybe you seeing, like, you about going about, and then you see like some chick getting beat to death or something like that, or beat the hell up, and then you as a man, you like trying to basically uh like see, like, whoa, should I go over there and help? Nah, just leave that alone and keep moving. All right, because that could be a way the Lord could bring a judgment uh on you, you know, from meddling. All right. Let me see if I can get this other precept I was looking for. Spirits. It's weird that I don't know where it's at. Spirits created for. Yeah, it's in 39. I was near it. Sloppy. Ecclesiastes. Cuss in Apocrypha 39 and 28. So it says there be spirits. So there's actually spirits. Okay. Um, the Lord says in the book of Colossians about how see if I can get that in Colossians. This is I think it's the first chapter of Colossians. Just give me a wee moment. I think it's Colossians like 1 and 6, something like that. Ephesians 5, right? Alright, this is a newer Bible. So. Okay, Colossians 1 and 6, right? Alright. Give me a moment. Saki, I can. Yeah. Colossians chapter 1 actually in starting at like 116, which just talking about Yahweh Shai, who created, obviously given the sanction from the Most High Yahweh, create all the things with the rest of the Alahayim, which are like angels, right? First fruits. Okay, it says, for by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth. Okay, you got obviously things that are created in heaven and earth. All right, visible and invisible. Right, so they're telling you there's an invisible spectrum out there. You know, you got spirits you physically mean they can't see the actual spirit that we're, you know, but it actually exists. You know, and it can possess a person. All right, it says whether they be thrones or dominions, right? Rulerships and such. Okay. The Lord created these things. All right. He created E to rule, you know, different heathen to rule, us to rule, etc. It says our principalities, which go into demons, all right, our powers, all things were created by him and for him, right? So, you know, hey, you know, Lord created these different spirits. Okay. Remember, I keep quoting that I create the light, um, and the darkness out of the Lord do all these things and such, which is a very basic precept which we learned in the beginning, you know, the truth. That's Isaiah 45:7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do these things. Okay? And we also know in Amos, it tells you that how if what is it? Amos chapter 1 and was that Amos 3 actually? Let's see if I can find that in this newer Bible. Amos. Yeah, wait a moment. I can get it. I got it. Wow. It's Amos chapter 3, and it says 3, can two walk together except they be agreed? And we clearly could see that relationship wasn't agreed. The dude killed the chick. You know, he had some type of variance or something. You know. Now, this is verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, or bad times in the city? And the Lord has not done it. So the Bible tells you that the Lord does, you know, bad things. All right, does evil. Okay, that's the duality of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that because of false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Okay, so it says Ecclesiasticus 39:28, and there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Okay, a stroke is given obviously for punishment. Okay, so stroke. You know, it says in the time of destruction they pour out their force. Okay, so multiple spirits, their force. Okay, and which is Rywath or Chawath in the Hebrew, which is evil spirits. Rai being evil, Wath making it plural, and Rechawath is spirits, okay, in the plural form, Recha. It says, and appease the wrath of him that made them, and it actually pleases the Lord, you know, that created these different spirits, all right? And the Lord does it through various, angels and such, you know, to, basically manipulate the mind of obviously a person to do something, to open it up, to seduce it, to do it, because like a lot of times, like I remember watching that Jeffrey Dahmer documentary or whatever movie they had, the Dahmer, that was on the Netflix, and the guy talked about how like he basically felt, he had to do this, basically that he was inspired by the Lord to do it. So let me get this other precept. It's in the Old Testament. All right, it's 78. Psalm 78 and 49. 78 and 49. Psalm 78 and 49. All right, Psalm 78 and 49. Psalm 78, 49. which it reads. I hope I got it right. I got it. Was it 70? Hold on, let me just double check that because yeah, 78 Psalms 49. Yeah. Now, I think when you read into this bit, this goes, um, to things the Lord done in times past, deliverance of the children of Israel from Egypt, and they say Israel's rich history, you know. But I'm gonna go to this verse 49. It says, "He cast upon them," okay, which I believe this goes into some of the different destructions the Lord did to the Egyptians, Mount Tazarian. All right, yeah, because it talk about the flies, the frogs, yeah, so different plagues that the Lord brought to Egypt, Mount Tazarian, on the Egyptians, which are oppressors. Okay, another dark skinned race, but not what we are as Israel, the children of Israel. So this is another precept that easily prove that the Lord does evil, because the credit goes to the Lord. He casts upon them the fierceness of his anger. He doing this to a nation, wrath and indignation. Right, Lord's righteous anger, and trouble, distress, by sending evil angels among them. Okay, right, evil angels among them, and if you go into even into detail in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, I think it's like the 17th chapter and stuff like that. It'll tell you about how the different apparitions. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17, and this is verse, I think, 5. For no power of fire might give them light, neither could the bright flame of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful. For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. As for illusions of art magic, they were put down, and their vaunting and wisdom was reproved with disgrace. For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were of themselves fear of fear. Yeah, they're different, worthy to be laughed at. Hey, different magicians and different sorcerers. You know, saying oh yeah, I can do this and that. That was put down. It says, "For thought no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by and hissing of serpents, they died for fear, denying that they saw the air and could of no side be avoided." All right. Let me see if I can find that other precept. There's a precept that talk about apparitions. Yeah, that's verse 3. It says, "For while were they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgiveness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions." So you had different, apparition spirits that were out in ancient Egypt, when the Lord plagued it, for, Matazarim didn't want to Pharaoh didn't want to let us go, when you go into the children of Israel, so-called niggas, Latinos, the Americans back in ancient times. And we have it, the non Pharaoh, Esau, Edom don't want to. All right, so just to prove the point, there's different spirits that are created for vengeance, so there's a world invisible and visible. Just because you see a man standing there, don't mean that, like, he could be that man, but then he can have that influence, all right, of different spirits. You know, like I see somebody that just look complete. I be seeing people in the city. You want to see spirits? Go in the city, go into the city centers and stuff, and see the homeless and such. You know, they look like a normal would be all off the outside. You put them in different clothes, or sometimes might even see them. I see Jake that be like I say, they in the streets. They be even clean and got spirits on them, but they in an unclean state though. You know, and the scriptures does tell us to flee all uncleanliness and such like that. I was reading that in Ephesians the fifth chapter and such. You know, so hey, I stay away from some different spirits. You know, because hey, ain't no, we know we have the good angels that are protected, surrounded around them that fear the Lord. But you got, like I say, I don't tempt the Lord. You know what I mean? You sit there messing around with some dude, you got these evil spirits. You dude might throw some piss at you or something like that. You never know, man. So, let me see if I can get that in Ephesians, and I'm gonna just close out after that. I just wanted to do something in the spirit. Gotta catch up on loads of the different lessons that I haven't done. So, bear with. So I'm wasting time yesterday, days prior. This is Ephesians 5:1. It says, "Be ye therefore followers of the Most High, as dear children, and walk in love, as Mashiach had loved us, and had given us for offering and a sacrifice to the Most High, for a sweet smelling Savior." That's a good precept right there. A lot of times I talk about the sacrifice of Mashiach. He was a sweet smelling Savior. All right, that sacrificial lamb, say Yahweh. All right, and that ultimate offering, that ultimate atonement for us. It says, "But fornication and all uncleanliness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you, as becometh saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking or jesting, which are not convenient, but rather give thanks." Okay? Let me look up filthiness and look up the all uncleanliness in the blue letter. Just give me a moment. Blue letter Bible. Then I gotta get to the Shaddai and go to the fucking sanitation. Scriptures say never give place to the devil. You know, I'm no giving oh yeah, shalom to all of that is able to tune in. Yeah, the water. Y'all should shot break thumb. Also to use it there. So Ephesians, the fifth chapter, and it says about filthiness, all uncleanliness. Let me look up uncleanliness. If y'all didn't see, like I said, the lesson was about some guy, might be Ishmael or Ishmael Israelite foreigner or something like that. He chopped off the heat of I guess his partner, his wife or whatever, and then ran into Bryson Sun Avenue here in Philadelphia, just trying to like so called hide or I don't know. He had spirits on him. Uncleanliness, go back to this word, which is impure. It goes into the word akatharesia, which means uncleanliness, which is in a moral sense, the impurity of lustful, luxurious, profligate living of impure motives. All right, physical or morally. All right. These are the different things that shouldn't be let it not be not once named among you as becoming saints, becoming holy and pure. So a lot of that physically and you know moral things that are pertaining to the right behavior and such. You're supposed to you know try to be as clean as possible. All right, simple as that. All right, filthiness. Let's look up filthiness. All right, remember we're a holy people is a clean people. obscenity, which you go to ahi skaratis, something like ace, which means obscurity or filthiness. Okay, that's like obscenity. Obscenity, actually, pardon. Now looking up obscenity, like they was talking about that particular dude was he was all showing off his genitals and such. The state of our quality of being obscene language. This ain't really giving much of what obscene means. Basically, strongly offends the prevalent morality of the time. Basically, bolding ill. Okay, obscenity. I'm gonna look it up in the etymon just to make it clear. The dude is sick. He's boldly sick. All right. Being obscenity. What the fuck? I don't know why the hell this is not working. Scene. All right, which is basically lewdness, being unlearned, act in action, of expression or representation. Foul or loathsome act. All right. Offensive to senses, right? You see something that's like off, a dude showing his nakedness, to a chick that shouldn't be looking upon his nakedness. All right. Obscene matter, offensive and indecent word or phrase, or obscene act. So that's basically it. The Lord got him out. He'll be somewhere, and then chick is in the spirit world. That's it. So, watch out about these spirits out there in dangerous, perilous times. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to you. How about you know, Shabbat Of course, double honors to our apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. You should try to the elect. We'll have some more lessons up, Ratazah, later on. So, shalom till next time.